welcome to episode 60 of 3 Pints and a Clean Sheet. How are we, boys? Kyle, how was your Christmas?
Full of festive cheer.
Well, that's what I like to hear. That rhymed. Greg?
I'm full of red cabbage and very happy about that.
Not about carrots.
And you were slagging off carrots before.
Red cabbage is the highlight of any Christmas dinner.
I think you'll find it's the turkey for me. I love that turkey. Ooh,
It's the sausages.
The turkey is just the vessel for all your sides.
You're a vessel.
the gravy
Thank you
vessel
very
on top of
much.
it. No, I'm glad you enjoyed. Yeah, so it is currently, what date are we on? We're on Tuesday. It's Boxing Day. We're recording this on Tuesday.
Which is why it looks like Kyle's got a raging hangover.
Comment.
So there's a few games to come this week, but we'll give them a review next week. But yeah, let's get into it. On the 30th is the big Old Firm derby back again. English people like to say that it happens every week, but no, it feels like it's been ages since the last one.
It does, because so much has changed.
No winning the cup either. Well, none of the cup.
Yeah, exactly. So, Old Firm preview. Greg, start with you. What do you think? How are you looking forward to it? As a well, I say neutral, but depends what mood you're in.
Neutral. No, sorry, I take the side of whoever's winning.
Oh, no,
it's a very. I'm very much looking forward to this one. It feels like it's got so much riding on it, but actually it probably doesn't, because we're still only halfway through the season. We're going to have another 2 in the league, but it feels like this is the opportunity for either Celtic to restore some momentum or Rangers to properly kick on. I had a chat with some Rangers supporting people around the Christmas dinner table yesterday. Not Robert, as much as people might like to think we have a nice wee Christmas dinner together.
That's next year.
We don't talk to each other.
Christmas dinner.
No, they were saying that actually the past few years Celtic have had it easy and Rangers haven't really apart from the COVID season where they won it, Rangers haven't really put up much of a fight, and this season it seems like they are, and it'll be great to see how Celtic respond to that.
Yeah. To be fair, Rangers are kind of falling short in a lot of the Old Firms recently, bar the last one last season, but it was 3-0, but the league was over by this point, so it's nice that it was to celebrate a 3-0 win against them. It meant nothing. I think we've only really pushed them in the Old Firms, and like Greg said, the COVID season, so it'll be interesting to see how we fare on Saturday. I think it's going to be really tasty.
A draw disappoints everyone.
Yeah, I sense a red card or two. I've got that feeling.
When was the last red card in an Old Firm? Because it was quite a while ago, was it?
I know, that's what I'm thinking. So I don't even know who the match official is for Saturday. I don't know when it gets announced, to be honest.
It probably has been announced, but I've not seen it.
I'll let Gregory check. Kyle, what are you thinking about it? Are you looking forward to it?
It'll be an absolute doozy. All to play for both sides, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it as well.
Depends how today's fixtures, the midweek fixtures go.
True.
Really shape things up.
We were just talking about that. So
the last red card was the 2021. It was Cal McGregor, apparently.
Oh, I thought there'd been one since. I watched that game. No, what? As Kyle made a good point there. Celtic played Dundee today, I believe. Sorry, 3:00.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, and then Rangers play Ross County tomorrow. So, in theory, if Celtic were to lose today and Rangers win, they'd go ahead. But Rangers are 2 points behind with a game in hand. However, that game in hand doesn't really fall until after the New Year even. So, yeah, in theory, if both teams win, assuming, I don't like to make assumptions in the current climate, but assuming both teams win, it'll be, if Rangers win, they go top.
Both teams that should win.
Yes.
However, everyone watching this will have seen the 2 results from the midweek games before they've seen this, so
yes,
we don't know.
They might have even seen the Old Firm before they see this.
Maybe.
I will say, get your red card bets in now, because it is Nick Walsh refereeing on Saturdays, though he was the last referee to show a red card in an Old Firm game to Callum McGregor. So get your red card bets in now. It's Nick Walsh. Penalty to Rangers or a red card.
Well, if it happens, I'm going to start my own bet tip service on Twitter.
Oh, you're going to make some spam. Not on our videos, please.
No, I was only joking.
I'm not.
But I'm looking forward to it. I think it is going to be tasty.
It'll be interesting to see who Rangers play in midfield.
Yeah, obviously, I don't know if Lundstrom will be back, which would be a big miss.
Will Fuentes be unbanned?
Oh, let's hope not. Stelling played man of the match in the cup final. I'd happily have him back in the midfield. I'm just kind of glad because I thought Lundstrom was kind of getting back into his stride, getting the confidence levels back up.
Probably double if he's in form after scoring against Motherwell.
Yes, we should say as well that actually Rangers Motherwell has happened since we last released the podcast. I watched the first half. I'm quite glad I didn't watch the second half of that. I gave up kind of 5 minutes into the second half of that because nothing was going to change in the game. Rangers scored one very nice goal with Dowell. The other goal was
Lovely
pretty
finish.
cool. And then the one that really sticks out in my mind was the Cantwell hit. That was a fantastic save.
Desser's punting it. It didn't even go out on the byline. Wee ball boy just kicks it
Efod.
out. These ball boys get them sorted. Oh, right, Luke. We're going to talk about how we think our teams are doing. So, in terms of our teams, I'm going to talk about Rangers. Grace, no, I'll put on the list. Kyle's next, actually. Kyle's going to talk about Liverpool. Greg will talk about Newcastle, and then we'll all talk about Queen's. But we'll start off with Rangers because we're on the topic anyway. Looking back to this a few months ago when Beale was in charge, I mean, Rangers are a completely different team, I would say. Maybe not in terms of the players, but in terms of confidence and kind of playing with a bit more free flow to it. Definitely in a much better place. Obviously, kind of closed the gap. Gap's now close to 2 points with one game in hand, which is great. Like I say, I think the confidence takes a big knock if we don't win on Saturday. However, like Greg said, there's still enough time in the season to pull it back. In terms of Europe, going into the next round of the Europa League, not having to play in the preliminary knockout stage is massive, I would say, for us. Kind of missing out on the big Champions League teams dropping down yet, so we'll see how that goes. But overall, in a much better place, and I'm very happy now. But it could be better when we go top.
Yeah, I think to chip in about Rangers as well. Actually, Europe is going to be a big factor in the end of this season.
Yeah.
Celtic obviously won't have that and can focus on the domestic games. Rangers need to go back to Thursday, Sunday at some point. And if they want to get deep in the competition, it's going to be weeks of Thursday, Sunday. And if they want to have a Scottish Cup run, that's going to get involved. It's going to be difficult for Rangers. We've already seen their squad be very stretched. They've largely got through that.
So far, yeah, I'd agree with that.
January's just coming for the windy.
Yeah, that was something I was going to come on to, but you make a good point there. I think it'll be interesting to see who Clement brings in.
And
I think we need yeah, true. But I think we need a bit more beef added to the team with players being out injured. Probably another
Is it worth adding to that? Because the midfield is actually quite good if everyone's available.
Yeah, that's but the downside is we're on the bare bones right now. But then you get that issue is when everyone's fully fit who plays. But we need another striker. 100% need another striker.
There was quite a lot of money spurned in the summer. Spurned maybe isn't the right word because some of them have actually came good. Even Cyril Dessers is pushing a not too bad a signing level now.
Yeah, he's
and that's coming from me, and I'm his biggest critic.
Slammers, he's just slammers.
Slammers needs to go. I wanted to give him. I gave him such a chance. I've still got the video saved in case he scores in the old form. If he does, I'm going to put it on the socials. We'll make sure I say it was me, but I just want to use it. But yeah, I think Daniel's been a good signing. It's just unfortunate he's picked up. Obviously, he had to get that operation when he took that knock to the face, and then he's picked up another injury, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, there has been a few good signings, but I think
Cantwell's properly kicked on under Clement.
Yeah, he's playing much better.
He looks a completely different player to the one under Beale. The one under Beale was trying to do everything himself and would frequently, I think I made this point numerous times, he'd frequently just pick up stupid bookings and do silly things.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to do it all himself, and there's more of a team mentality about Rangers now.
It's also good to see Ross McCausland coming through.
Yes.
Playing well. And like we said, he needs games to get experience, and I'd say his decision making starts to become a bit clearer, I think. But yeah.
So if there's one thing you can criticise the Old Firm for as well, it's actually not bringing through young players enough.
Yeah.
The Old Firm have a pathway to do that. They've got so many games they really should win by a hatful in the domestic league that if they want to moan about not having enough players and want to start keeping folk for Europe fresh, use the young boys in the league. I'd imagine they're probably quite scared about that which says more about how the Old Firm develop talent. But McCausland coming through shows there are positives there, and there is potential
Yeah.
for people to do that.
You always see it happen. Well, no, you always see it happening in terms of boys getting shipped off and going down south, or like I'm trying to think of one.
Like it sounds like Aberdeen that they play well
Yeah,
and
look-
get bought back.
Yeah, but you're right. McCausland is a kind of standout, and hopefully that's the start of a clear pathway through into the first team. Because there has been in the past. It's just as of late, I think we've been relying on transfers in, but it's one of those, isn't it? Right, let's move on. I've talked enough about Rangers, I think. We'll move on. We'll move down south. Kel, Liverpool. What's your thoughts?
I would say it's been I don't know what the word is, tumultuous, up and down. Don't know, in the league anyway. Only lost the one game though, which was that Spurs travesty.
That's going to happen, though, isn't it? Like
No.
one time in the
No.
season, when folks say some games you get decisions, some games you don't, you collated lots of the decisions you don't into the one game, and it's your one loss, and that should be a massive positive.
We've also drawn 6, and
Yeah,
Probably.
that's what I was
a lot of them
gonna
are,
chip in.
a lot of them are probably winnable games. Don't know who they're all against, can't right mind, but
I'm thinking about the number of points you've picked up from losing positions as well. Liverpool don't seem to function until they go behind.
yeah, I think we've definitely topped that league anyway. I can't mind how many it is.
It was 18. I think it's
18.
more than that now.
Depending, the last one was Crystal Palace, but they just look hopeless, and then the team scores, and then it's all guns blazing.
Is it the kind of wake up call they need? But at that level, you shouldn't really be needing a wake up call.
Didn't always work though.
Yeah.
They're going to fail eventually.
To be fair though, if you'd got to this point, if you'd got to this stage of the
This
season,
is
and
halfway.
yeah, well, I was going to say halfway, but I don't know if they're playing this week still. If you got to halfway, are you happy with being in second?
But today,
Yeah, Burnley away the day. Second's not bad. I think I've said this before. No team wants to win the league this season, so facing how they're all playing. So I'm happy with second. Not happy to throw away first place, but I'm happy with second.
still in the Carabao Cup. Have to be favourites to win that now.
I forgot about that actually.
Depends.
The other
What?
teams left in it are Middlesbrough, Fulham.
Everton, isn't it? No, not Everton.
No, Everton
Chelsea.
were times.
Middlesbrough, Chelsea, and then Liverpool, Fulham.
It's probably
Yeah.
a Chelsea Liverpool final. But never know.
Again. So
It's interesting.
we're gonna have a Chelsea goalkeeper refuse to be subbed again.
It's that bloody Petrovic boy.
Who actually,
Looks really
and I
good.
know this could be, we're going to come on to Newcastle, and I know I'm going to be salty about Newcastle as that penalty shootout. Apparently, according to the commentators in that game, that Petkovic boy's record in penalty shootouts is phenomenal.
I read that he was really good at them.
What about you?
Yeah.
I can't quite remember how Liverpool. I assume they won their Europa League group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
They lost the last. Was it the last game?
Yeah, they lost the last game and then they got beat by Toulouse as
Yeah.
well.
Toulouse was another referee shambles.
Mm.
So I made a point of saying I really don't want Liverpool in the Europa League. Yeah, there were 12 points, and
It was comfortable in the end, but
they lost the first one.
did they?
According to this,
I thought they
unless it's
lost.
like
They lost their last
They
one.
lost the last one because they're already through, so they just sent out a young. Oh, fucking hell! Send the young boys. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was a tongue twister.
And yeah, Liverpool have to be favourites for the Europa League as well, surely.
There's a few other Champions League teams coming down as well. You've got to put them into the mix.
But
So-
Liverpool arguably should be one of the favourites for the Champions League, so surely they should be the favourite for the Europa League.
they lost 3-2. They lost 3-2 to Toulouse. No, it did. And
That was halfway. That was one of the halfway games.
All right, I thought you were saying they only lost the one. That's what I was
No, they
confused.
lost twice.
My apologies. I thought you said
That
one.
was
That's
in
why I was like, I don't think you did.
No,
Fair
one
enough.
in the league.
All right,
Yeah.
fair.
I think it is. It's a good season. A few questionable moments, but all in all, I would say it's pretty good.
What about some of the signings? How
Uh,
have some of them done?
Soboslai looks like a right good player.
Has
looks-
McAllister lived up to the expectations you thought he would? That's the one I'm really interested in.
No, but he's not been playing in the right position for most of the season. So
Endo?
he's looking all right. For not being a very glamorous player, he does what he's needed to do, which is be a number 6.
What about Darwize?
Or is it?
I know he's not a new signing, but Darwize looks different this season.
He's still with that odd moment of being shit.
I don't understand. Like when I watch him, I think he is absolutely rank rotten, and then his goal stats aren't that bad. He's like
Yeah.
he still scores, but
He's-
you look at him and you like. I sometimes think he's like Dessers, you know what I mean? But Dessers doesn't have as good many goals. You know what I mean? Like you watch him and you think he is rubbish, but then he pops up now and again.
What
He's
game was
trying.
it where he had an open goal and he stopped and tried to claim a penalty instead of just putting the ball in the back of the net?
Man U, I think it was.
Yeah, it might have been.
He's a player who just needs to focus. And that's about it. Because he can score goals, he just can't always do it.
Left back situation becoming a problem again. Now Simicastle's out and Robbo's still out.
You know, Joe Gomez, he's on. He's probably the other option.
And the most versatile player since James Milner.
Very much.
Saying that, sorry, can I go back? Nunez is only 24. I thought he was older than that.
No. As good as Haaland, but
He's only just younger than me. I mean, he's obviously never seen me at the Palmerston Arena on a Thursday night. On that note, I forgot Robertson was actually still injured.
he's up for the season. He's no far off the season.
Yeah, wasn't even given a foul for what he was injured for.
Yeah, true. Hopefully be back for the Euros though, but if
Spanish.
you're saying it like that, hopefully we'll be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that's all I can say.
Let me move on to Gregory. I just want to note that Newcastle are currently 1-0 up.
Well, hey, so that means I can now say that as it stands, with Newcastle being 1-0 up, if you told me Newcastle would be 2 points behind Man City on Boxing Day, I think you snatched that. I think any Newcastle fan would snatch their hand off.
Play 2
But
games each other.
Man City are also sitting in fifth though.
Yeah, but well, I didn't need to include that. But ultimately, this season has been largely predictable for Newcastle, and they've still got results. They're one of the 2 teams that beat Arsenal. They should have beat Liverpool. They knocked Man City and Man United out of the League Cup, and then got beat by a really poor Chelsea side on penalties. It's been up and down. The Champions League group being the Champions League group. This sounds just like I'm moaning, but the fact that it was drawn into that Champions League group didn't help anyone. You know, if Newcastle and Man United's group, Newcastle go through. Newcastle were drawn into a really difficult group. There's been a lot of injuries. And largely that's due to FFP, right? Largely Newcastle couldn't bring the players they needed. Like, they couldn't have brought more players in during the summer because of FFP rules. So they ended up bringing Lewis Hall, who's somehow apparently has an option to buy if he plays so many games, which is activated, like they have to buy him. And he suddenly just disappeared. And that Matt Ritchie's filling in at left back now, which is very odd. It's as if they don't want to buy him.
Where was Hall from? Chelsea?
Yeah. And he's looked pretty good.
I heard he's looked quite good.
Hmm?
I've heard he looks quite a good wee player.
Livramento, on the other hand, Livramento looks the player. Livramento looks ridiculously good. He looks probably, given Trippier's recent form, he looks better than Trippier in that position. And he's played left back for a lot of that, which he can play and isn't his natural position. Scotland signed him up as if we need another fullback. But Livramento looks phenomenal. As I say, we're very unlucky with the Champions League group. It was a different group Newcastle go through. It was great to get European experience. Ultimately, finishing 4th and going completely out sets us up best to qualify for the Champions League next year. As you said, Kyle, no one wants to win the league. No one seems to want to finish 4th either, though Tottenham seem to have found some form again. Be interesting to see who comes in January. I don't know what the FFP constraints are looking like. A midfielder is needed. Calvin Phillips looks like it might be the man. I don't know.
I want to interject. The injuries haven't helped anything to do with Newcastle. All the injuries they've had.
Yeah, exactly. It's been like the same side played like 5 consecutive midweek weekend matches or something ridiculous like that. There's been like it's been the same side because they've had no choice.
The injuries are
every
mental
time
across the whole
Newcastle.
board.
Well, we said this earlier in the season, and you both said I was talking shit, but actually injuries have been ridiculously bad.
I don't know if I
And the
said that,
one-
but maybe if I did, I've starting to change my mind because
I think your words. I think the words between you two were they're professional footballers. They should be able to deal with it.
Well,
Actually,
I'm open to admitting I'm wrong sometimes. So
fixture
I think it is.
congestion.
Yeah.
Fixture congestion is the sole problem with that. The World Cup didn't help. We're properly feeling the impact of a Winter World Cup now.
That's what I was about to say there. I think that's then made a big impact. But going to the
We've
next
got a
World
Euros
Cup,
this summer,
Yes.
yeah.
and
But we're going
therefore
to
probably also a Copa America. There's AFCON coming, which won't help people.
what's
That's
the Asian one as
mid-season.
well? The Asian one and the African Cup of Nations are like on it after the New Year, they're not?
Yeah, they're
I-
mid-season, aren't they?
So that's not going to do any well for Liverpool, for example.
Yeah,
I
solid.
don't think Newcastle have anyone away. However, it's going to be difficult for teams. Like, you've got the Euros this summer. Next summer, you've got the expanded Club World Cup that no one asked for, wants, or needs. You're playing 2 extra Champions League games next year, provided Newcastle qualify, or 2 extra Europa League games, or 2 extra Europa Conference League games that just aren't needed.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to give, I think.
However, Newcastle, given the injuries and given the fixture congestion, are above West Ham, Europa League winners. Sorry, Europa Conference League
Europa
winners.
Conference League winners.
Same thing. It's shit.
No, it's not.
Above Man United, who won a trophy last season and beat Newcastle in the final. Above Brighton and above Chelsea.
I'm gonna,
A big one for you. How are you feeling going into the 6th of January?
Well,
It
Michael
is
Beale's Sunderland manager now, and they got beat 3-0 at the
some.
weekend, so I'm feeling a bit better than I previously did. But if there's one
Someone
game
made an edit.
Michael Beale will win to convince the Sunderland fans, it's that one.
Someone made an edit. It was quite funny. It was AI, and it's like it's obviously disappointing to lose 3-0 because we shit. But it was typical Michael Beale to start off with, 3-0 loss, but new manager bounce and all that, innit?
Yeah. The Newcastle thing as well is that the old slogan, we don't demand a team that wins, we demand a team that tries. They've been trying, it's just the demands, because they finished 4th last year and qualified for the Champions League, the demand has got so much higher.
was it victim decision on success?
Yeah. But actually, if given the Newcastle squad especially, if you say 6th, 7th, probably about right.
Pushing.
Yeah, top 10. Top 10 for sure. Better than that, mate. There's a lot of good teams in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, we'll move on from that one. We'll move back up north, and we're going to talk about our collective supported team, Queen of the South.
Wrongly.
No. We'll start in the league, and then or do you want to discuss Saturday?
Yeah, go for Saturday.
Was Saturday quite reflective on Queen's performance over the season as a whole?
I would just like to put a disclaimer out. I don't really remember much, and I apologise for anyone who was near me in the game because I went a bit ultra mode. But I don't. It was just kind of summed up our season, I thought.
Yeah. It reflected the season. So it didn't turn up for a large part of the game, turned up for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Sitting 7th in League One.
As a full-time team.
As one of the full-time teams in the league.
The other 3 full-time teams are 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We're 7th.
It is a sad state of affairs, to be honest. It's frustrating. Won't stop going to the games, but it is frustrating. Yeah. Obviously, we're talking about big derby on Saturday being the Old Firm. Another big derby on Saturday is Queens versus Annan at Palmerston. Annan, 9 points behind us with a game in hand. So that'll be tasty. The last one was a good one, actually. It finished 3-2 at Palmerston.
3-1.
No, it was also 1-0 at Gallowbank.
I know, I meant at Palmerston.
It was 3-1.
The 1-0 3-1, apologies. The 1-0 at Gallowbank, I wasn't there, but was formed that on another day Annan could have won quite convincingly. So I think it'll be a good game. It'll be good to watch.
Can I put it out there? I know there's teams above us with games in hand because it's only us and Hamilton who've played that extra game, and I think Queens wish we hadn't played that game against Hamilton that day. But we're only 4 points off the playoffs.
That was quite mental, yeah.
Somehow. And then we sort of play, if we get there, we'll play the team in 9th in the championship, so it's not really worth it.
And the team
It would be nice to get the playoffs, but it would be nice to get to the playoffs, but I just can't see it happening.
Nice to win a game.
I could be wrong in saying this because it might have changed since I last checked, though I'm pretty convinced it hasn't. We've had 1 clean sheet this season.
in the league. Yeah,
in the league.
I think
And
it's
it was Annan at Gallowbank when Annan should have won handsomely.
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's all. Do you mind?
Unless I'm trying to, the one that strikes me as no, because the game at Meadowbank finished 2-1.
Yeah,
We've had one clean sheet this season, and it was a game that Annan should have won handsomely. Which says all you need to know.
Pretty tragic viewing.
we also had the same amount of defeats as Annan, and only two less than Edinburgh.
Yep, and they are rank rotten.
Both are. It's not been a good season by any means.
No, it's what I definitely want to forget. I mean, another season we've had to write off that we expected to bounce back up, but
And
It's not right
likely
off just
another
yet.
season, and likely another season where we've got a load of players who aren't good enough, so they're going to get punted in the summer, and we're going to get a ton more in, and we're going to find out that they're not good enough either. That seems to be the Queen of the South cycle at the minute. Get rid of a ton of players, sign new ones, find out they're shite, get rid of them.
But there's a core of good players, reasonable players.
not
And Josh Todd.
doesn't reflect it. Sitting in seventh. I'm sorry.
There's not.
I get what you're
there's
trying to
many.
say.
There's not many, but there's maybe two or three who
You have McKechnie's and your Cochrane's, but apart from that,
the rest are a bit.
Injuries have also plagued Queens. We've had like everywhere else, we've had a really long injury list.
but they can't blame the World Cup for that. They
You have
cannot
to
blame
start
the World
asking
Cup for that one.
questions at that level about training.
Well, we had the whole debacle about PlayStations and Xboxes and staying up late before games and such. That was just, quite frankly, embarrassing for the club. But
Deflection was a deflection
yeah,
technique.
but was it good? It was very much bad publicity.
But it worked.
Now we got one win in the next. Well, I think it was 3 wins actually the next
We
game.
knocked Dundee United out of the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, but then we got beat by Hamilton 5-0 the day after, or the game after. So
We
Yeah.
are unbeaten in 3.
that should be 4 as of Saturday.
We will be for us on Saturday. Let's be positive.
No, let's not jinx it.
Aye, well,
But yeah, we have the
sums up.
worst. We seem to score not too many. Like we seem to score more goals than you think, and that only the top 3 or the top 4 have scored more goals than us. However, we have the worst defence in the league that isn't Annan or Edinburgh. We seem to get involved in lots of high-scoring games. We seem to get involved in ding-dong games. We don't seem to be able to just grind the result out and do well.
Not yet.
Well,
And as someone said after the Dundee United game, we seem to end up playing worse against teams in our league compared to teams in the league above, or in the Motherwell, in
Yeah.
case of the Motherwell game, team in the Premiership. Because they want to play football. We seem to want to play football. Whereas teams in this league, in League One, and no offence to them, play fairly direct counter-attacking football in the whole, tend to have a big man up front. We don't do that.
It's all Route 1. That's the way it is in League 1.
And even when we've tried to play Route 1, I know the conditions largely dictated it against Edinburgh and Stirling. We're punting it to Gavin Riley, who's just going to get beaten in the air by every central defender under the sun.
I mean, there's a boy in the bench, Hutchinson, who's about 6'5". So there's an option there.
Surely in a game like Saturday, where the weather was absolutely honking, that's the type of player you want in the park.
He's not a very, he's good. He's just maybe not highly rated by Marv.
2 up top.
I've said this for years. I don't know why we don't play 2 up top.
We used to do the little nod with Dykes and Dobie.
Everyone
Aye.
else in this league, by and large, plays 2 up top, whether it's 3 at the back or 4 at the back.
All I did was big Connor Salmon.
Yeah, you've got your target man, and then you've got your, like, so for example, a big player, maybe if you want to play Hutchison, but then you've got your Gavin Riley, who's good with the ball at his feet, playing balls in the back and that. I don't know. It's going to be a big second half of the season for us. I think we just
Dale
need to
Carrick's
figure
only
out.
6 foot, right? But Dale Carrick, it was
It's
Dale
not
Carrick
wee,
and Dale Hilson up front for. It's not big, but it's, yeah, you're right. It's not wee. You know, Stirling had Dale Carrick and Dale Hilson up front on Saturday, and they looked dangerous.
We used to use Derek Lale as the target man. He's 5'7".
Could win the ball though.
Yeah,
He's a good holder.
hold up. It doesn't have to be punt it up. It can just be someone who can hold the ball up a bit and get players past them.
That's what Riley does, to be fair. He holds off and then sprays it
Yeah.
wide.
I just think Riley would work well with another player beside him, but
I think he would as well.
but that's enough. That's enough Queen's chat for now. I'm
Again,
putting the book
interesting
down.
to see if interesting to see if Queens get anyone in January. Interesting
Yeah.
to see because Effie Ambrose's contract is finished after the Annan game on Saturday. Be interested to see what happens there.
Surely he gets kept on the end of the season, and then we find a replacement.
He
Surely.
seems to have got the best out of Kyle McClelland as well. Kyle McClelland
No, definitely.
was very critical of when he came in, but actually A, seems to care, which is massive, and B, looks not too bad. He seems to drive everyone else on to better. I think he doesn't look too bad a player at all.
He's got like that.
No.
He's got like that leadership almost about him.
Yeah.
That's what I think. With
No, I
Ambrose
agree.
next to him does help because he's got like experienced head.
Yeah,
Bombs here,
McClelland,
but
definitely.
experienced.
Aye. It's those
Kyle
gloves.
McClelland also obviously on loan from
It's
Hibs. Contract up at the end of the season. Probably will get renewed.
love if he came back.
Maybe
Yeah.
he came back, but I won't.
I'd like him to resign. I think someone in the Championship will pick him up.
Yeah. Definitely. Right, well, that's been a good in-depth analysis, I think. So we'll move on to the game.
Yes. Yes, hello. I lost again. Kyle won again, is what we should be saying last week.
Look,
Happens every week. He's fed up even showing the belt now because
I don't know,
he
put
just
up lost it.
permanently owns it. This week is the transfer game again, as chosen by me. You know by now, I like to have a wee theme when I do these. So it is between Christmas and New Year. So what comes in January?
The transfer window.
Yeah.
A transfer window. So all of these players and all of these transfers happened in January.
I thought you were going to say happened in a transfer window. So I was going to say would probably well hope so.
No, they happened in January. They all happen in January transfer windows. Mix of playing and retired. See how it goes. You know how this works by now, but in case you don't, 5 points for the year in the fee, 4 points for the position, and further on until you get the new club. Guess the player, 1 guess each after every clue. We'll start off with 2023, £1.3 million.
2023. That would be
2023. That was January, just there, 1.3 million.
just there 12 months ago. I don't know. Todd Campbell.
No.
I don't know. Martin Boyle?
No. 2023, 1.3 million for a midfielder.
Rocky Bashuri.
No.
Even though he was a defender.
2023, 1.3 million.
Midfielder.
I was going to say Todd Cantwell, but I don't know if he was in.
He's just said Todd Cantwell.
Did he? Oh, I wasn't listening.
That was his first guess. So no. 2023, 1.3 million.
I'm just in my head. Sorry.
2023, 1.3 million for a midfielder from Belgium.
I was thinking Todd Campbell, but
I was about to say that as well. I don't know any Belgians.
um,
I feel like we should go.
Belgian. Fellaini.
No.
1.3. 2023. Belgian.
Belgian.
I cannot think.
Kyle's
No.
got the face that means he knows it on the next clue.
Well,
He's gone.
Kel's got an idea, but it may
I
not be
just
right.
thought Todd Cantwell, but it's gone.
What are you saying, Robert?
No, I'd pass. I can't think.
2023, 1.3 million, midfielder from Belgium, left Standard Liège.
It's not who I thought it was.
It's not really helped me because that's the little big team that I've.
Standard Liège. Fuck are they?
The Belgian.
Well,
That was the.
Yeah. I don't know, Bastost.
No. He's Dutch and a striker, but you know.
I don't know.
2023, 1.3 million for a midfielder from Belgium, left Standard Liège to join Rangers.
How much midfielder left Daniel Age? Why can I not think of this?
There we go. Cifuentes? He's not.
No.
He came from America.
I'm sorry.
That's what I mean. I can't think of another midfielder.
He had 2 January transfers last January. It was
I
Todd
can't
Cantwell and the other one.
remember.
No.
Well,
No
this
one's
is-
getting any points. Nicholas Bloody Rascan.
Oh, mind him. He's been out of injury for ages. I forgot about him.
thinking he was Belgian, so
Yeah.
I was quite disappointed I never got that, to be honest.
Robert, that was your chance. You blew
Oh,
it.
well. I've got
Uh,
last 4 to go.
2016, 8.5 million. Yeah, Kyle, when you said, oh, it was 12 months ago, aye, this was way more than 12 months ago.
2016.
8.5 million.
Shinji Okazaki.
No. Nice to his name, though.
I don't know. Fellaini, I think he said that.
No. 2016, 8.5 million for a forward.
You're not getting a first name, but Mutu.
No, it was not Yoshinori Muto. Still playing in Japan.
I didn't know his
2006.
first name was, to be fair.
What did you say? Sorry, midfielder?
Forward.
Forward. I don't know. Pass.
Pass. 2016, 8.5 million for a forward from Scotland.
John Rose.
No.
Uh, Jonathan McGinn.
No.
Ian.
He's not a forward.
2016, 8.5 million for a forward from Scotland, left Everton.
Naismith.
Stephen A. Smith, 2 points.
I never thought he'd be going for 8.5 million, but
Anyone know who he joined in that January
Norwich.
transfer window? Norwich. Next one, so 2 points to Kyle. 2020, 22 million.
What year was it? 2020, you say, sorry.
2020, 22 million.
That's too early. Luis Diaz.
No.
Too early again.
Odson Edward.
No. 2020, 22 million for a forward.
Mr. Dembele.
No.
I couldn't remember if they got that much. Right. For a forward. Ollie McBurney.
No. 2020, 22 million for a forward from England.
Ollie Watkins.
No.
Daniel
Well, I didn't
Ings.
What was that?
Daniel Ings.
No. 2020, 22 million for a forward from England, left Hull City.
Jared Bowen.
Jared Bowen, 2 points. 4-0 to Kyle. Robert, you need one of these.
No bother.
2009, 3.5 million.
He's probably going to go to me.
Um,
How much? Sorry.
3.5.
Something really wrong. Berbatov.
No.
Johan Kabay.
No. 2009, 3.5 million for a forward.
Adel Rapt.
No.
Kenny Miller.
No. 2009, 3.5 million for a forward from England.
Michael Owen.
No.
3.5.
2009, 3.5 million
What the f-
for a forward from England.
Emil Heskey.
3 points. Emil Heskey
That was my next
Left.
guess as well.
Heskey
Left.
time.
left Wigan to join Aston Villa. Robert, 1 point on this. We'll see you win it.
No, 2. I need a 1 to draw.
Want to
You
draw.
want to draw, sorry. 2, we'll see you win it. 4-3. Last one. 2014, 18 million.
18.
2014, 18 million.
Oh, no, him. Oh, fuck it, Daniel Sturridge.
No.
Oscar.
No. 2014, 18 million for a midfielder.
2014.
Yep.
Dele Ali.
No.
Ross Bartley.
2014, 18 million for a midfielder from Belgium.
Maybe Cantwell, I don't know.
We're starting as we finished. We're finishing as we started.
Nainggolan?
Belgian midfielders. What did you say?
Isn't it Raja Nainggolan? Is he Belgian?
No, it's not Raja Nainggolan. I think he is, though.
He is Belgian, but I don't know, just Fellaini.
No. 2014, 18 million for a midfielder from Belgium, left Chelsea.
Eden Hazard?
No.
No, 18 million. Oh, that would have been stupid. Wait, when was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just a stupid guess. I heard Belgian and just shouted Hazard.
Probably not.
Kevin De Bruyne, well done,
Well done.
Kyle. Left Chelsea to join Wolfsburg.
If I'd thought
Are
a
we
bit
doing
more
the
about that.
tiebreaker just for the patter?
Fuck,
Yeah,
why
can't
not?
win it though.
2022, 3 million.
2022, 3 million.
Steve Davis.
Nah, Todd Cantwell.
2022, 3 million for a winger.
Robbie Matondo.
No.
I don't know.
No, quick game scheme.
Abada.
2022, 3 million for a winger from Australia.
Boyle.
Yeah, Martin Boyle, because Robert said him earlier. That's the only reason I did the tiebreaker.
Wait, what position did you say it was?
Winger.
Yeah.
Boyle or winger?
Definitely. 100%.
Thought it was a striker, but
I think he plays there, but he's primarily a winger, I would say.
Yeah. Well done,
Bit of
Robert.
attacker,
Or well done, Robert. You got some points this week. Kyle,
thanks.
Again.
well done as
If I-
ever. Nicholas
got Raskin.
Raskin will haunt Robert for the next
Yeah.
week.
Just couldn't think. Just it's the pressure that honestly, it's the pressure because I can know that folk watching this at home will have been screaming at the camera. It's the pressure of not wanting to make a stupid answer and then saying Todd Cantwell when someone else has already said it. Oh, well.
In other good news for Kyle, he got 4 points at the predictions last week.
Well
Me and
done.
Robert both got 3. Kyle managed to predictly bet against Queens in ways that have got other people on this podcast points. Kyle picked a draw for Stirling versus Queen of the South, and that's the difference between the 3 of us this week. That takes the total scores to... My spreadsheet's gone all wonky.
It's not got the
Kyle on
predictions in this week.
45, Kyle on 45, Robert on 49, and Greg on 53. This week, my turn to pick the games, so I'm pretty sure what Premiership game you think I've picked. It's Celtic versus Rangers. We've covered this in
Rangers.
detail already. Robert's picking Rangers.
I just say a draw.
I was going to say I'm going to draw. I said that earlier. I think it will be a draw and it'll please no one. Scottish Championship, Ayr versus Dunfermline. Every single game in the Scottish Championship last weekend was a draw. Ayr drew with Wraith, Dunfermline drew with Arbroath.
Let's see, the honest men.
Yeah, I'm thinking honest men as well.
I'm going for the Pars.
Okay, good for you.
Thank you. League One is Montrose versus Cove. Montrose are still 4th after their draw with Alloa. Cove pulling away from them in 3rd after beating Edinburgh City 7-2.
It's got the Cove boys.
The Cove Rangers.
I'm also going for the Cove Rangers. 3 for Cove. Scottish League 2, Forfar versus East Fife. That's the wrong way round. It should be East Fife versus Forfar, so we can have 5-4. Both sides are on 16 points, 7th and 8th. East Fife have played a game less.
Draw.
I'm
East
going
Fife.
for Forfar because they're at home. Highland League, Brecon versus Baxadee. That's a clash against the top 2. Brecon have played 2 games less, but are 1 point above the away side, whose only league defeat came in the reverse fixture in Aberdeen. I'm going for Brecon again.
Yes, me too. I think we'll do it.
You got 3.
Double.
And the last game is in Serie A. It's Juventus versus Roma. Juventus are in 2nd and 4 points behind Inter, who are unbeaten. Juventus are unbeaten since their only loss on the 23rd of September against Sassuolo. Roma are in 6th and are 12 points behind Juventus.
I think Juventus will keep the run going.
Me also.
I'm just got to join you in that. I can't lose points.
Oh, that's why he's going 3rd, because he does things like that, and then we all get points, and then he ends up still being as far behind as he was before.
I'm not going to fucking win.
Risks. That's the type of attitude that will make you a loser. That's the end of predictions for this week.
Thank you very much. Quick FPL update. I don't know if you got it up, Kyle. I've already got it up.
We have to.
Yes.
So obviously this is start of game week 19. So number 1 is Darren Whitfield. Well done, Darren, with Witty FC. And number 2 is Jack Hughes. And Greg Notman is holding in to the podium at number 3. Away the lads. Well done, Greg. Notable mention to Kyle Pagan, who's 4th, who's dropped out, stayed out of the top 3 actually. Where's Kyle?
For God's sake, Newcastle.
6th.
Mr. Kyle Palmer is in 6th. Well done. And I am staying the second bottom at 17th. We'll have to play the relegation playoff at this rate. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's leading going into the new year. But that's how they stand now. Obviously, one more round of fixtures before the new year. But yes, right. Thank you very much for watching. This has been episode 60. Yeah. Well, by the time you've watched this or be watching it, it'll be the new year, or just about. So we hope you have a great new year.
Let's have a good new year.
Behave yourselves.
Not too many bevies.
Have too many bevies. This podcast promotes irresponsible alcohol drinking. Don't demonetize us.
That's just one person's opinion.
It's the correct opinion, as ever.
Well, on that note, yes, enjoy. Have a good new year. We'll see you in the new year.
On speed, bless for 2022.
Ta-ra.
You see 2020?
Yeah, I did.